like many of you probably out there, I occasionally see trailers for things that I've never heard anything else about before. And I'll watch and think, hey, these are some people I know and like. Obviously not from real life, from other films and such. But I'll hope that whatever film they're advertising will not leave me unfulfilled or scratching my head. It certainly won't have wasted an hour of my life or more, in some cases. So until very recently, I don't think all of them had been ticked off by one film. But like I say, I think that's happened now. When I talk about Wounds today, I'm of course not talking about the collection of 6 short stories, but the filmed adaptation of one of those, being The Visible Filth by Nathan Ballingrud. The film Wounds was written and directed by Babak Anvari. Somehow he convinced Armie Hammer, Dakota Johnson, Zazie Beetz and Brad William Henke to star in this. And I don't know how much they were paid, but it probably wasn't enough. Now, I've always said I don't like to look at other people's reviews or opinions and things, but I wanted to know if I was missing something. Both of us, Amy and I, sat there at the end and went, well, that was a thing that happened, but neither of us felt fulfilled, neither of us felt it answered anything. We just felt kind of empty. So like I say, I didn't want to look at other reviews, but I was like, am I missing something? So I found something on NME, and on the Roger Ebert side as well, actually. Yes, I go to such places sometimes. And yeah, I'm not wrong. This doesn't go anywhere. When I watch a film, unless the trailer says this is some weird supernatural stuff, it's kind of like a concept piece. Like, if I'm going to a Razorhead, I know what to expect from a Razorhead, and in fact, all of David Lynch's work. But the good thing about pretty much all of David Lynch's work, there are exceptions, I'm sure, I know that there's a coherent story somewhere in there. It's just couched in all this mystic weirdness and transcendental meditation stuff. So I'm used to being able to parse out details amidst some weird ideas. But like I say, I normally have to be told that that's what to expect. Because if I go in expecting a coherent story, like the trailer told me it would be, and don't get one, I don't like it. This was a collection of ideas. It was a collection of scenes. It was not really a coherent story because the pacing was all over the place. I thought when we were at the end we were about halfway in, but no, apparently I just blanked out during a portion of the film, clearly, because it was over. It ends in a way that, yes, okay, I can see why it's the ending, but it wasn't fulfilling. There wasn't a beginning, middle, end. There wasn't a structure to this that really made sense to me. Now, people have said that, obviously because it does discuss the ideas of gnostic rituals and things like that, it's technically meant to be a jumping off point to get you to look into that yourself and be interested in it, maybe. But if I wanted to research stuff on Gnostic rituals, I wouldn't watch a supposed horror film, I guess, on Netflix. I'd watch a documentary on Gnostic rituals. If your film requires me to do further reading to understand what it was trying to say, you failed. Simple as. A piece of media should stand on its own. Now, I know I say that as a fan of the Kingdom Hearts series, which, if you don't play one of them, you're missing chunks of the story. But still, I do feel, for the most part, a piece of media should stand on its own 2 feet. If it does not, and it requires you to do a lot more digging to understand what the heck it was on about, it failed at its job. So yeah, Wounds failed at its job. And like I say, I like these people. Armie Hammer, who, aside from his whole cannibalistic thing, seems a nice guy from everything I've seen. I've enjoyed stuff he's been in. He has made a lot of bad career choices, though. Not just almost admitting to being a cannibal. But Zazie Beetz has made a lot of great choices. She's been in some good works and done amazing performances in all of them. But she's in this, and okay, she does give a good performance with what she's given. I'll grant that. I'm not massively familiar with Dakota Johnson, aside from references to the 50 Shades series. I've never seen them, and I don't want to. But again, she does okay with what she's given, but what she's given is worse than almost anyone else. She's a caring girlfriend to Armie Hammer's character Will, until she gets embroiled in this thing and just becomes very cold and detached and very hateful towards him for no massive well, he's not a great boyfriend, so yeah, but how she reacts isn't normal at all. She's very cold, she has no emotion in the decisions she's making, and really you could take her out of the film and you wouldn't miss anything. If you have a character in a film who you can remove and nothing changes, that's not a good thing. I don't know if any of that's in the original work. I do feel Mr. Balmgrud should probably ask for, some kind of massive payment, because his career is probably tarnished by association. Baba Kanvari can hopefully do something better than this. I've heard reports that his previous work, Under the Shadow, is great, but this does not make me feel comfortable in watching any of his stuff in future. I'm disappointed in this. I wanted something much better, and I didn't get it. I felt very unfulfilled at the end. I felt that it didn't go anywhere, and sadly I'm not alone. So, unlike a lot of stuff, I know I tend to go, hey, here's the thing I really like. Most of my reviews are positive, but I realise I need to meter that, and sort of provide contrast. So here's something that I really didn't like. So you can't just say that I'm just praising everything I love. But next week, I'm going to praise something I love, because I need to as a palate cleanser. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, take care and don't watch wounds, please.